Meteorologist Stevie D. The time now is 4:30 on this Wednesday morning. Let's take a look at this chilly full forecast. Yes, we are starting off chilly, but here's something that you can look forward to. Spring officially begins on Friday at 10:46 in the morning. So that's when the equinox occurs. Then it'll officially be springtime. And we certainly dealt with those spring-like, even summer-like temperatures last week, which actually are really helping the cherry blossoms to get to their stage 3 level at the tidal basin in Washington, D.C. So on March 16th, they hit that level 3 stage. So the extension of the florets, so the little flowers inside the blossom buds are starting to grow. The peak bloom is expected to be anywhere from March 29th through April 1st. That's what the National Park Service is predicting. Last year, the peak bloom occurred on March 28th, so we'll just have to wait and see. But it's starting off very chilly this morning. We have this area of high pressure sitting down to our southwest that is allowing that wind to flow in out of the west-northwest this morning, bringing in that cooler and drier air. So it's another morning where you need to grab the warm winter coat. We have temps starting off below freezing in every single location. The 20s out there, burr, is certainly the weather word. 23 over in Aberdeen, 21 in Sykesville, and good morning only, you guys. We're also sitting at 25 degrees. And we do have wind chill values in the teens this morning up and down the I-95 corridor and for spots along the Maryland-Pennsylvania line. Now today is going to be a lot less breezy compared to yesterday. That's the big weather story today. We do have temps still expected to rise into the upper 30s and low 40s, very similar to the temperatures that we dealt with yesterday. However, the wind is going to be a lot more manageable. You still want to layer up because it's going to be feeling chilly out there, more of a winter-like kind of day. Temps, though, will steadily rise. We should be right around the upper 30s and low 40s by 2 to 3 o'clock, dealing with a few more clouds compared to sunshine. So unlike yesterday, we'll see a little bit more in the way of cloud cover, especially across our northern areas. But then we are looking at more sunshine popping out tomorrow. Your 7-day forecast, seasonal with more sunshine for your Thursday with a high of 52 degrees. We are back into the low 60s just in time to begin spring. Daniels, the time now is 4:44 on this Wednesday morning. Let's look at your super 7-day forecast because right now we are starting off below freezing in almost every single location. Feeling very winter-like. The kids want the warm layers this morning as they leave the house and head out to the bus stop. We should be making our way up into the lower 40s this afternoon, so staying a little bit below average in the temperature department today, just like yesterday. However, the winds are going to be more manageable. It's going to feel less breezy out there. Another start in at the freezing mark or even slightly below that as we begin the day tomorrow. So feeling another winter-like morning for your Thursday, but then during the afternoon, we could be touching the lower 50s. So that's a little bit more seasonal. That's kind of where we should be for this time of year in mid-March. And then it doesn't stop there. We make our way up into the lower 60s. And on Friday, which is very fitting because Friday is the first day of astronomical spring. This weekend, we have warmer weather on the horizon, especially on Sunday with the high of 67. We could see some showers filter into the area Friday evening into the first half of Saturday, so you might just want to break out the rain jacket. But then meteorologist Stevie D. The time now is 4:59 on this Wednesday morning. Right now, satellite and radar is picking up on just a few clouds hovering across the state of Virginia, even down towards the Carolinas, with some snow showers back off towards our west. But we do have an area of high pressure sitting to the west of us this morning, which is allowing winds to flow in out of this northwest direction. This is the reason why it's feeling so cold out there right now. We're also dealing with plenty of breaks in the cloud deck, which is allowing for radiational cooling to take place. Winds are very calm and relaxed this morning, feeling a tad bit breezier for my friends closer to the immediate bay shoreline along the eastern shore. Here's a glance at our temps today. We are starting off very cold, so a very winter-like start for many of us. Right around the Baltimore area, seeing a temperature of 25 degrees. That's the same case in Middle River along with Westminster. And looking ahead into the afternoon, we are expected to rise back where we were yesterday in the upper Stevie Daniels. The time now is 5:12 on this Wednesday morning. Let's take a live look outside. All is calm and quiet over downtown Baltimore. Just dealing with a few clouds at this moment, which is really helping us to start off with this winter-like chill. So brace yourself as you head out the door. You'll definitely notice a little bit of a difference in the air. Believe it or not, we are starting off a little bit colder out there this morning with a lot of areas sitting below that freezing mark. As you head up north towards the state line, look at Parkton sitting at 23 degrees, 22 out west in Thurmont. And Bowie, good morning to all of you, sitting a little bit milder at 27. I wouldn't really call that mild. But we do have wind chills this morning out of the northwest. That wind direction is lowering our wind chills, so wind chills right now are in the teens as you head up north. And not feeling too much of relief down towards Annapolis and Chestertown, feeling like the lower 20s this morning. So it's safe to say that you need to grab the warm cup of coffee or tea before you get your day started. Most of us should be hovering right around that freezing mark as we approach the middle part of this morning, so by the 9 o'clock hour. Today we're going to feature a little bit more clouds compared to sunshine, but unlike yesterday, we are going to be dealing with lighter winds at the surface. So winds are going to be more manageable. That's the big story on this Wednesday. We have temperatures hitting the mid-30s right around lunchtime today, and then as the kids head home from school, we should be right around the lower 40s, very similar to our temperatures yesterday afternoon. High pressure is in control. This is keeping us dry and quiet, but this is also the reason why our winds are flowing in out of the northwest. So it's drawing in that cooler and drier air. Keep in mind, we will be seeing some sunshine today. It just won't be as bright as it was yesterday. We should be edging up into the upper 30s and the lower 40s right around 3 to 4 o'clock, and then dealing with a little bit more in the way of cloud cover as we head overnight. But tomorrow, that's when we bring back temperatures back to seasonal levels. And then springtime is just 2 days away. That's when the equinox occurs. It officially begins at 10:46 in the morning on Friday. And then as we head into the weekend, temps are going to stay on the warmer side. So the 60s will come back in style. Looking at your 7-day forecast, a few showers are
the switch.
Absolutely. And you know, March is really the month where we have this transitional phase from colder temperatures to warmer temperatures. We definitely felt some of that warmth, 100 miles per hour. It touched down around 10:20 in the evening, so closer to the midnight hour, and then it started to move over the state line into Delaware. But there was extensive and significant straight line wind damage from this tornado, and we're still waiting to see if the National Weather Service sends out a survey team or if they've found any tornadic damage at all for the one supercell that formed across Frederick and Carroll counties. So of course I'm going to update everyone once I hear word from them. But winds right now are out of the northwest. This is the reason why it's so cold this morning. We also have mostly clear skies. We're starting off feeling very winter-like, sitting below freezing in the 20s for every single location. Blast the heat in your vehicles. Temps should be rising into the mid-30s by 11 o'clock and then touching the low 40s later today. Back to you.
Thank you.
The other day on March 16th. We still have 2 more stages to go until they reach peak bloom. And this year, the National Park Service predicts that peak bloom will occur between March 29th and April 1st. Last year, they hit peak bloom at the Tidal Basin on March 28th. Spring is almost here. It begins on Friday at 10:46 in the morning. That's when the equinox occurs. It's certainly not feeling like spring out there today, though. This morning, feeling very winter-like, sitting below freezing in every single location. Numbers are in the 20s this morning, 24 degrees up in Parkton, 28 in Annapolis and Easton. Good morning to all of you sitting at 27 degrees. Wind chills right now are in the teens and 20s because we have this northwesterly wind in our favor. We also have clear skies above, which is allowing for radiational cooling to occur. So a winter-like start to the day, and it's still going to feel winter-like this afternoon, just not as breezy as yesterday. So that's the big story this morning. The winds are going to be a little bit more manageable out there. They will eventually shift out of the south, which could help us rise back into the lower 40s and upper 30s getting into the afternoon. So it's going to feel like another mid-January type of day. High pressure is in control. This is going to allow those winds to clock in out of the northwest throughout the morning before they start to transition more southerly as we head into the afternoon. Seeing some breaks of sunshine here and there, but today is going to feature more in the way of clouds compared to yesterday, and then temperatures will drop near or below freezing as we head overnight to kick off your Thursday. Your 7-day forecast. Less breezy today with a high 41. Trending more seasonal for your Thursday afternoon with a high temperature of 52 degrees. For Friday, the first day of spring, we do rise back into the lower 60s. So the 60s are going to come back in style. Get ready for that. And then into the weekend, dealing with the chance for some rain showers early in the morning on Saturday. Some of these showers could also trickle in on Friday evening. Below freezing in every single location on our temperature map. Quite the chill in the air. The kids need all those warm layers, the warm coat, and also that warm hat. We have winds out of the northwest. They are relatively light this morning, but that northwesterly direction, that wind is actually pushing some of that colder and drier air across the area this morning. Heading into the afternoon, we're going to stay below average in the temp department. So today is not going to feel like mid-March. It's going to feel more like mid-January. So you'll have to find ways to stay warm. 40 degrees right around 3 o'clock today. We will be seeing more in the way of cloud cover throughout the first half with more breaks of sunshine during the afternoon. But I promise temperatures are going to warm up as we head into the next couple of days. And then I'm also tracking rain chances this weekend. I'll talk more about that coming up in my full roughly an equal amount of daylight and darkness. But as we take a look at satellite this morning, satellite is showing some clouds, most likely hovering right around the state of Maryland and even down towards Virginia, the Carolinas. But high pressure is in control, so this is actually protecting us from some of the snow that's currently sliding into areas farther west of us right now. This northwest wind is a cooling wind. It's bringing that cooler and drier air to the region. It is very light right now. That's how it's going to stay throughout the day today. So the wind is going to feel a little bit more manageable this afternoon. Wind chill values right now are set up in the teens, especially near the state line. That's where we're feeling that extra cold, extra chill. 13 degrees, that's how it's feeling in Parkton. So feeling about 10 degrees colder than what the thermometer says because of the winds factored in. We also have mostly clear skies this morning as the kids head out to school. They're not going to love how it feels as they head out to school this morning. So this is the reason why they need to layer up. We should be right around 30 degrees closer to the 9 o'clock hour, dealing with extra clouds throughout the day today compared to sunshine, but I do expect to see some breaks of sunshine here and there. That's not really going to help us warm up much in the temperature department, sadly. So just like yesterday, we're only going to make our way up into the lower 40s this afternoon with those light winds. They will eventually shift out of the south, so that's going to be a nice warming wind, less breezy though. We're still going to be feeling more like mid-January for this time of year. Futurecast shows that we stay dry throughout the day today, and then temperatures are going to range in the upper 30s and low 40s during the middle part of the afternoon, and then looking at some extra clouds as we head overnight into your Thursday. I mentioned before that Friday is the first day of spring. It officially begins at 10:46 in the morning on Friday. Looking forward to this. I know a lot of us are pretty much over winter. And tomorrow it's actually going to feel more seasonal. We climb back to 52 degrees, but on Friday, because it is the first day of spring and Mother Nature's put us through a lot, we are going to be rising into the low 60s on Friday, so very fitting for the first day of astronomical spring. I am tracking the chance for some rain showers that could develop later in the evening, so if you have any late Friday night plans, you might want to bring the rain gear with you. Very good news, a little bit of a break from some of that rain. Temps are going to be hovering in the upper 30s to even near the lower 40s, just like yesterday, but yesterday was so breezy. It was very windy out there throughout the afternoon. Today we're going to relax the winds a little bit, so they'll feel more manageable as the kids head home from school today, but they will need to dress warm. Tomorrow morning we start off below freezing, so it's going to be another winter-like start to the day, but at least we get back up to seasonal levels. Most of us are going to be rising back into the lower 50s getting into the afternoon with intervals of clouds and sunshine. And then 61 degrees on Friday. Very eager for this. Friday's forecast for the first day of spring looks great. We do have the chance for a few isolated rain showers that hold off until the later parts of the night. Much of the day will be dry, but we will be dealing with partly sunny skies. So not as much sunshine as I would normally like to see, but there still will be some intervals of clouds and sunshine over the weekend. Warmer weather. Next active meteor shower takes place in the middle part of April. It's going to be the Lyrid meteor shower, so looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to warmer temperatures, and we finally start to warm things up after today. We just have to get through today, and then temps will be on the rise. This morning, Westminster is waking up to some extra clouds this morning with some breaks here and there. All is still looking a little bit dark out there. Sunrise this morning is at 7:12. We do have temps standing in the 20s this morning. You know it's cold when I match the temp map, but look off towards the west. Frostburg and Deep Creek starting things off in the teens this morning, and our winds right now are relatively light. So when you talk about clear skies or breaks in the cloud deck along with light winds at the surface, it gives you this. When you have temps in the 20s, it makes it feel more like the teens out there. Jarrettsville, you guys are feeling like a very cold 13 degrees, 16 in Hagerstown, and 4 degrees for my friends out in Deep Creek. I hope you guys are doing okay. We have high pressure in control. This is the reason why winds are out of the northwest, drawing in that colder air from Canada and the Great Lakes region. So dress warm this morning. The kids want all those warm layers on. The warm hat is going to be their best friend. We should be right around 35 degrees by lunchtime. And then this afternoon, as the kids head home from school, as you're heading home, going to be standing most likely in the upper 30s and the lower 40s. And that's exactly what Futurecast shows. A little bit more in the way of clouds today compared to yesterday, where we saw bright sunshine for your St. Patrick's Day. Yesterday was very breezy. Today, we're going to relax the winds a little bit. They'll be feeling more manageable, and then we have more clouds on tap as we head into the overnight. But spring officially begins on Friday, just 2 days away, precisely at 10:46 in the morning. That's when the equinox occurs, so that's when both hemispheres will roughly have an equal amount of daylight and darkness in both hemispheres, roughly about 12 hours each. Taking a glance at your 7-day forecasts, we'll be ranging below average, feeling more like mid-January standards today, but then trending more seasonal for your Thursday with a high temperature of 52. And then the 60s will come back in style as we head into your Friday. This weekend, we warm things up even more. So if you've been missing the 60s, I'm so happy to report that we do have that warm weather that's going to